welcome our next talk. Just a second. Yes, so the last talk is called Informfully, Research Platform for Reproducible User Studies, and the presenter is Lucien Heitz.
Good morning, everyone. Happy to see that so many were able to join the morning session after the lavish dinner last night. My name is Lucien Heitz. I'm a PhD student at the University of Zurich, and I'm here to present our reproducibility framework called Informfully. What is the problem that we are addressing? Maybe a quick raise of hands. Who is doing user studies? Yes, so a couple of people. So ideally, everyone is doing user studies, because if we are evaluating algorithms, user studies are the ultimate test. When we apply metrics, we don't use metrics just for metrics' sake. Metrics are always a proxy of some user need. But why are user studies not ubiquitous in research? There are three main reasons. So one reason is that conducting user studies is really, really expensive. It is time investing or time intensive to manage user studies, especially if your software is not thoroughly tested. Also, reproducing and rerunning user studies is not really incentivized. One reason is that if you're building a platform or if you're conducting user studies, it is really hard to figure out where to start. There are no baselines, for example, on how to do item visualization, and people just cobble together certain things and kind of ignore the whole aspect of how to visualize, how to present items, despite research showing that this has a significant impact of how users interact with the recommendations. What is our solution to this problem? Well, we present the Informfully platform. The idea is that Informfully is like a visualization layer that you can put on top of your existing recommender system. It is very easy to use, and it is a seamless solution. So you have a user that can navigate the app, can navigate the platform, and you have also an interface to specify all the aspects of the experiment. It is versatile in the sense that it can adapt to almost any type of recommender system. You and your recommender system backup can interact with the front end through a JSON-based interface. You let us know what user should receive what item recommendation. We can record this, can track them, the consumption, and we can report this back to you also via JSON file that you can then again feed into your recommender system and provide the next batch of recommendations. We provide an open source solution that is cost effective, and we are using standardized question templates, standardized item visualization templates that you can use to copy and paste together an app, a user interface that you then can use for your user studies, and this just takes a couple of minutes. You might say, well, it's all nice in theory. Does this actually work? And I'm delighted to say that yes, Informfully actually works. It is in production, and over the last 2 years we had more than half a dozen publications, and we have research partners all around the world with whom we share the solution. Now, what does Informfully look like? It has two main parts. The first part is a mobile application. You can use it as a content-agnostic content delivery platform. So no matter if you want to recommend pictures, text, videos, audio, you can do it all within our platform. On the slides, you see an example of how Informfully is used to mimic a news recommender system. But you can, again, use this for any different purpose. If you want to do music recommendation, you can have, instead of text and images, a media player that has music, podcasts, and so on. The same for video. One big feature that we offer is we provide really in-depth user interaction feedback. So for each item, you can specify a list of questions that users should provide answers to. You can request them to give item ratings, and what the app also reports on in case of text, for example, it tells you how far a user has scrolled, how much time they spent consuming an item, and so forth. One highly requested features, especially from the social scientists, is in-app surveys. So if you're fond of Qualtrics and co, we have that on board as well. So at any moment in time, you can prompt users to fill in surveys, get their feedback, and then can also leverage this for creating recommendations. The front end runs on iOS, Android, and on Windows. In terms of how to create and set up experiments, we created an administration website where you can manage your experiments, where you can manage your users, you can create them in bulk, export them, and that way it kind of seamlessly integrates with Amazon, Turk, or Prolific. Again, we have a very extensive survey editor where you have all the bells and whistles that you are used to from, for example, Qualtrics. And everything is built with open source software, so we are using React, Meteor, and MongoDB, so there are no hidden licenses. In terms of licenses in general, so the tool is fully open source. You can scan the QR code, you get access to all our papers, to the source code. Online on the GitHub repository, we provide even more resources, like data sets that you can use for training and development purposes of your own algorithms. We share our in-house algorithms and documentation on how to set up everything. This infrastructure, you can, of course, download it, host it on your own server, but we are also more than happy to collaborate with you. So just feel free to write me in case you have an idea for an experiment, and we can see if we can host your infrastructure. Also, being like right now in the spotlight, I want to use this opportunity to highlight another presentation of ours tomorrow in the Normalize workshop. So in there, we're going to have a deep dive into the data set where you can have a look at the quality of the data that can be generated using Informfully. And with that, I'm happy to get your questions. Afterwards, I will be waiting in the entrance, and during the break, I will be in the restaurant upstairs, so feel free to reach out to me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Lucien, for the presentation. So time for questions. So you can submit your questions through Slido, and we have quite a few. One of them from Nava Tintarev is, hi, Lucien, how does the platform handle randomization between groups and conditions?
Sorry, how does it handle randomization?
Between groups and conditions.
The second one is? Yes, so randomization, when you create experiments, you can either automatically generate user accounts, or you can manually add them to different baseline groups in general. You can also add them randomized.
Okay, so maybe time for one in-person question. Do we have anyone? Okay, maybe then one last question from here. Is it possible to integrate conversational interfaces?
That is very much possible, and it's currently being worked on, yes.
Okay, thank you very much for your answers and also the presentation, and for all of you for attending the session. This concludes the session, and we would like to tell you that now it's time for the next session, which will be chaired by Sai Kishori Kalori, and it's on robust RecSys. Thank you.